Okay, it says that we're live. So, welcome everybody. And today's going to be day 3, or the third hypnotic trance called SHiFt. And I really hope that you like this today. I think it will make some difference in your life. I'm also going to encourage you to listen to this more than once, because we're going to be covering a lot of different areas of your life called that's in the life wheel, and we're also going to be doing things going through the logical levels. And we all have logical levels of our mind, where our environment, our habits, behaviors, capabilities, beliefs, values, and our identities. And I'm going to slow down when we get going. Excuse me. But I thought rather than doing a formalized trance, I would talk about something that we all do, um, which is called a revivification. We have all had experiences where we went into an altered state of consciousness, and it could be as simple as you laying down, taking a nap, and when you wake up, you feel completely reset. It could be an experience where you're reading a book or you're watching your favorite movie, or you could be coloring. Any of those things that entrain the mind and cause your body to relax. And for those who don't really have an experience of that, I am going to count from 10 down to 1. But take a moment. If you've been listening to the other audios, you should be pretty good at going into trance by now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you to just take a breath and close your eyes and just think about a time when you were really, really relaxed, you were really comfortable, or you were really engaged in something that you enjoyed. My favorite thing is to like go for a drive and roll down the windows and turn off the radio and just like go down the road. And there's a part of my mind that's paying really close attention to my driving, but at the same time, it frees my unconscious mind to think about other things of importance. So just take a moment, and if you like to follow along, just close your eyes and take another breath. And as you exhale down, I'm just going to count from 10 all the way down to 1, starting with 10 and 9 and 8, deeper relaxed, and 7 and 6 and 5, deeper relaxed, and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And as you find yourself drifting slowly down to the bottom and settling in and settling down into a space that's really comfortable and very relaxing, what I'd like you to do is just kind of walk out, and as you're walking, you're going to come to an open area that, maybe it looks like a field. The temperature's perfect. And out in this field, or out in this space, there's this great big circle. And I'd like you to go sit in the middle of this circle. And you notice as you're moving through into the center of this circle that it's divided into multiple segments. And these multiple segments of this circle kind of represent the different areas of your life. And those different areas of your life are your personal environment and your career and your finances, and your intimate other, if you have one of those, your friends, your family, your health, your personal or spiritual growth. And then the last section is fun and recreation. And we all have those different areas. Maybe we divide them up in different ways, or we call them different things. And what I'd like you to do is to go sit in the middle of that circle and just relax. Maybe you have, a chair or a pad underneath you. You could lie down. But what I'm going to ask you to do is just follow along with me. And so as you're sitting in the center of the circle or lying down in the center of this circle, I want you to direct your attention to that section of the circle called your personal environment. And this personal environment includes, your home, your office, your car, your boat, your airplane or helicopter, if you have those things. And as we go through this, I'm just going to be asking you questions just for your consideration. You don't have to make any decisions right now. Like tonight while you're sleeping and dreaming, or perhaps when you listen to this again, maybe you'll come up with some different answers or some different responses. But when you think about the environment of your personal environment, your home, is there anything that you need to shift away from? Is there anything that you need to shift towards? Or is there a part of you that needs to update or change in some way that's more congruent with who you are and who you're becoming? And as you think about this personal environment, are there any habits that you need to move away from? Or are there any habits that you need to move towards? Or are there any habits that you have that need to be updated so that they're more congruent with who you are and who you're becoming? And then think about behaviors in your personal environment. And the question is the same. Is there anything that you need to move away from? Is there anything that you need to move towards? Or is there anything that you need to update? And then I want you to think about your capabilities. We all have capabilities. There's things that we can do, and there's things that we can learn to do. And in these capabilities, is there anything that you need to move away from? Is there anything that you need to move towards or update? And then I'd like you to think about your beliefs, the beliefs that you have about your personal environment. What are you able to have? What are you able to own or change? And then the questions remain the same. Is there anything that you need to shift? And you've heard me ask that question enough times so that you can make a decision of whether today you're shifting away from things or if you're shifting towards something new or something better. Or maybe you're just choosing to take something that you've done for a while and just update it. Maybe you made that decision when you were very young and you've just been doing it for a while in that way. And then I want you to think about your values. What are your values about your personal environment? Is there anything that needs to be modified? And then lastly, we all have our identity, who we are now, who we're becoming. And I'm just going to continue going around the circle And like I said, each time that you listen to this, maybe a different area of your life will be more on your mind, or it'll be more important to you. So the next thing I want you to think about, and particularly in the times that we're in now, is your career. How has your environment changed? Are there any specific habits in your career that you've had to modify or that you'd like to modify? Are there any behaviors that you do that you would like to change or move towards or update? We all have capabilities. What if we could just suddenly improve our capabilities in our career? What are your beliefs? What are your beliefs concerning your career? Can you change your career? Do you want to change? Do you want to make your career better in some way? And how would you do that? And then our values. And our values are really our beliefs about our beliefs. And then we have our identity. And it's real interesting that, we place a lot of identity around our careers. And, today might be a good day to remind you that you aren't necessarily what you do. You are a fully functioning, independent human being that happens to do a certain job or a profession. And maybe you need to move away from that over-identification, or maybe you need to move more towards that identification and become more serious about your career. But it's all your choice. Maybe you have a identity that was given to you because it was your social or family structure, and maybe you've just never taken the time to think about that. And then shift your attention to the finances segment of this wheel that you're sitting on. And what's the environment of your finances? What are the habits of your finances? What are your behaviors and capabilities? What are your beliefs about your finances? Are there any beliefs that you need to update or change or move away from or move towards? What are your values in finances? What's your identity surrounding your finances? Are you a good person if you have money, and are you a bad person if you have money? What? Just think about these things, and just maybe you might want to consider shifting something to make it more congruent with who you are now and who you're becoming. And then I want you to shift your attention to your intimate other. We all have intimate others. They might be really good friends. They might be your spouse, your lover. Intimate others also include your children. Or it might be a close friend that you've known for, like a gazillion years, and maybe it's not a sexual relationship, but it's very, very intimate. What is the environment of that area of your life? What habits and behaviors do you think that, are they all okay? Do they need to be modified? Do they need to be upgraded? What are your beliefs about intimate relationships? What are your values in intimate relationships? And then finally, your identity in intimate relationships. Are you still who you are, whether you're in a relationship or not? I mean, what if you were married for 20 years and your spouse went away, or you went away, or something drastically changed? And so the question I have is, do you need to update? Do you need to change your identity in your intimate other area of your life? Your next area that I'd like you to shift your consciousness over to friends and family. Everybody has friends, and all of us have family. What's the environment like in your friends and family section? What habits or behaviors do you display or perform in that area of your life? Is there anything that needs to be updated? What are your capabilities and beliefs about that area of your life? Do you think that is it as comfortable as being at work, or is it as comfortable as being at home or with your family or with your friends, with your women's group or your men's group at your church? What are your values concerning your friends and family? Is there anything that needs to be updated or changed or moved towards or moved away from? And take a breath. And then I'd like you to direct your attention to the area of your life called health. There's a lot of attention, being focused on about people meditating or exercising or, uh, making sure you're getting the right amount of sleep and eating and all of those things. So I'd like you to think about your environment called health. How is that environment? Is it where you want it to be? Is there something that needs to be modified? What habits do you have concerning your health that you'd either like to change or move away from, or that you'd like to change and move towards? Maybe it's just a habit or a behavior that just needs to be updated. Just it needs a little upgrade to like the 2.0 level that would improve your health in such a way that you'd be able to relax. What are your beliefs surrounding health? I know people who they just absolutely, they don't get sick. They don't have allergies. They don't have health problems because their belief structure is organized in such a way that that's just something that other people do. What is your values? What are your values concerning your health? Is it important to be healthy? Is it important to be, have a robust life, or are you more relaxed? Or is there anything that needs to be changed or modified? And take another breath. And we'll just let your unconscious mind process all of the things that we've talked about so far. And then we're going to move into personal and spiritual growth area of your life. What's that environment like? I mean, we've kind of had a massive change, and people are staying home. They're working from home. Some people may have more time than they've ever had before to consider how they're going to grow personally or how they're going to grow spiritually. Some people are doing meditation, or they're doing Zoom calls. Some people are attending happy hours online. So what's the environment like in the area of your life called personal and spiritual growth? What habits or practices that you have? Or maybe you need to let some things drop away. Maybe you need to add some things in. What behaviors and capabilities do you have in this area of your life? What beliefs and values do you have in the personal and spiritual growth area of your life? Is it important? Could it be more important? Does it need to be less important? Is there an area of your life that needs more attention right now? Is there anything that you need to shift away from? Is there anything that you need to shift towards? Or is it just something simple like you need an upgrade? Or maybe, just maybe, everything's just fine and you just haven't taken the time to think about it. And then lastly, lastly is the fun and recreation area of your life. And I've mentioned before, we're in the midst of a big change right now. So, it's harder to, it's actually impossible right now to go to a restaurant or go to a state park and and just hang out or go camping or go get together with your family and have a picnic or a barbecue. So I want you to think about the area of your life called fun and recreation. What's that environment like? What modifications, if any, need to be put in place? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to add in to your life? What habits or behaviors that are normally in that section of your life that have changed? What's your level of satisfaction in these areas? What capabilities or beliefs do you have about fun and recreation? Do you believe that you're capable of um, making whatever changes so that you can adapt? I mean, you could uh, just have the kids build a fort in the living room. You guys could have a picnic right there in the living room and make a pretend fire and uh, sing campfire songs or make s'mores. Or there's a lot of things that we could do in the areas of fun and recreation. What are your beliefs about this? What are your values? How important is fun and recreation? Do you need to take a breath? Do you need to just relax? And lastly is the identity portion of fun and recreation. Are you a different person? Do you have a different identity at home? Are you a different identity at work? Do you have a different identity when you're on vacation? And sometimes people just don't think about how many identities that we have. I'm not talking about, multiple personalities. I'm just talking about we have these different programs that function within our minds that when we're in this mode, this is what we do. And when we're in that mode, this is what we do. So, like I said, I'd like you to listen to this a couple of times because each time that you go through the 8 areas of your life, personal environment and career and finances and individual, intimate other and friends and family and health and personal growth and fun and recreation, you're going to hear something different. It's going to react in your body or respond in your body a different way. Some days you'll just hear it in your head. Some days you'll really feel it in your body. Because as we're making these shifts, as we're making these changes in our life, one of the things that I find that is very, very important is it's not about me anymore. It's not about you anymore. It's about we. And it's almost like we've gone back to a more tribal style environment where other people, our family members and our friends and our acquaintances, lovers, we have to find different ways to reach out and to connect. And I hope that you find this this trance really useful. And like I said, please listen to it, like it, and share if you have any questions about this. I realize that I packed a whole bunch of information into this, and it may not feel like a formal trance, but to me, everything that we do is trance. Um, my personal opinion is that we are always in different levels of consciousness. So thank you. I know this went a little bit long. Um, I will be back. I have a friend of mine who is doing blood testing for virus stuff, and I'll be back and posting that later on today. If you need to talk, please send me an email. I'm also on I'm on like Marco Polo. You can message me on Facebook. And you can also go to my website, drmichaelharris.com, and just fill out the thing for a 15-minute consultation. And I'll talk to you soon.